What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's about 1:54 on a Tuesday afternoon in this lovely February 2025. We about done with it. It seems to be sailing right along. January be seeming so long, and then February is like poof, gone in an instant. Yeah, we over here to discuss this latest episode of Married to Medicine. It's season 11 and it's episode 12. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. You already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and drop down in the comments if you want to talk about it. It's a lot to talk about over here. I enjoyed it. I did. Um, where we start? We start with, I figured you were like that because I know how your girl is. That's what Dr. G said to King. He looked at this man and said, I figured you would like that because I know how your girl is. And the next thing you know, this man came out of his shirt and he was chasing Dr. G down the beach. Dr. G was running backwards with his hands flailing around in the air, screaming in that little girly voice of his. Child, you might as well ask the man to come punch you dead in your mouth, because I feel like he was trying to make it clear that we're familiar. It reminded me of that scene in Color Purple. Remember when Mister was talking to Suge Avery's new man? And he was like, I had her like I had her, and you got her like you got her. They sitting there being drunk. That's not what we're doing. King don't play that over here. I'm about to lay your ass out right in that sand. Here comes Sweet Tea. What is she going to do? This is embarrassing, Sweet Tea. Your man already over here about to get the lights punched out of him, and here you go standing in front of him. That's not hot. You make him look even more pipsqueaker than he already was. Now he's mad at you, because that's what he does. He looks at Quad, then he gets mad at you. He looks at King, then he gets mad at you. That's weird. You should question some of that behavior over there with your little Dr. G. Mimi and Contessa and Phaedra, this was so freaking weird. I don't know what y'all were doing, but I would like for you to not ever do that again. So they came around this lady in a Holy Ghost circle, and Phaedra was giving tongues over there. If I was Sweet Tea, I would go dip myself down in that ocean and wash off whatever it was Phaedra was doing over there. Girl, what is we doing tongues for? And what are we doing tongues over Sweet Tea for? Dr. G was the one that needs the tongues. He was over there starting shit and about to get laid out. Quiet and King just standing there looking at them like, what the hell with these people? Looking like a photo shoot. Dr. G is very mad. That's all I can say about that. He shouldn't be. What you so mad for, Dr. G? You got a whole Sweet Tea. Simone doesn't understand why God chose Phaedra to be over here laying her tongues down on the people, when her relationship with Apollo and Shireen is so messed up. And I was like, no, it's not. Their relationship is not messed up. Apollo and Shireen got a messed up situation going on over where they at with restraining orders and things and fisticuffs and whatever they're doing. Phaedra don't have no problems. This man is allowed to pull up in the driveway and collect his children. And then he go mess around and won't be able to do that. He keep going to jail. She went down to the courthouse and been like, see what they got going over here? I'm concerned about my children, as you should be, because I would. Apollo. Phaedra didn't bring Apollo here. That was Heavenly that did that. So, maybe she the one that needs some tongues. Clearly she does, a brand new one, because she was out in the street putting her tongue all over places that was insulting people again. I'm not a member of the community, so I ain't about to speak on nobody's behalf. But what I will say is, like, she's so ignorant all the time, all the time. And yeah, she's just always putting her foot in her mouth. It happens to be, for her to have such good friends, Funky Dineva, and peoples in places that are among the community, you think she would be a little more considerate and open-minded. But Dr. Heavenly is backwards thinking in her thinking all the time, even as it relates to other women. That's why she's over here talking about how Phaedra did this, brought this man in front of Apollo. Apollo said he's known Phaedra since 1997. He never heard her speaking in tongues before. There's two things that's very clear over here about me. I don't matrimony, and I don't alter in things how people be doing on a regular basis. Sundays, whatever days you do it on, I do my thing just between me and how I do things, spiritual. That's what people like to say. They be being spiritual. I don't know if that's what I'm over here doing. I'm just trying to live my life as a good person, follow my instincts, and not be out here doing dirty shit. Now, when you over here taking on things with prayer cloths and tongues, and then, Phaedra, sweet tea, you might need an exorcist for all she's doing over there. Greg and Sweet Tea decided they were going to go home. Y'all need to go home because your man is like out of control. And, I feel like he subjected himself to enough of looking at these two, discuss how they're going to be pound tounding each other. I'm not either mad at either one of them, to be honest. If I was on either side, I'd be ready to pound town something. And it's new. It's only like a year. Greg, go on with your sweet tea, child. You brought her over here like, you have won the golden prize. Go home with your prize. If she's willing to do that thing that you like, that none of us want to be a part of. Phaedra left because, what is she going to stay for? One thing Phaedra is not going to do is engage with y'all. You tried to play her with that whole Apollo thing, but Phaedra, you brought Apollo over here. And I don't know what's going on between Phaedra and Heavenly, but Heavenly, I don't think he was ready for Phaedra. Phaedra already got a job while y'all was over here plotting and planning and planning and plotting. She was over there negotiating Bravo contracts. And she, negotiated one where she doesn't need y'all. Nobody trying to play. At the end of the day, who brought her here? Whose idea was it? That would be Bravo. I don't think any of these doctors over here wanted to do a show with Phaedra because it just didn't make sense. They're not play doctors. They're for real doctors. Quad is part of the family. That's why she's here, because she's been here since day one. And I guess Simone is like, if you're not going to have real relationships over here, then maybe you shouldn't be a part of our show. And we were all like, that's stupid. We like Quad. Some people do, some people don't. I'm just saying. Y'all wanted to play, and Phaedra came with game, and she tricked all of y'all's ass, and she bounced. And okay, I would say she's also, I'm spending a lot of time on Phaedra, but it just came to my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share it. She ended up going over to Real Housewives of Atlanta because Candy left. The door was open. Portia's her friend. Kenya's over here getting kicked off. Like there was a lot of things, stars that aligned in Phaedra's favor. However, she has done other shows. And Real Housewives of Atlanta is hanging by a thread. So, can she save it? Y'all love this lady. So maybe. I don't even know anymore. I don't want to say no. I'm going to say, I don't know. Anyway, we over here married to medicine. So she going to go home, she said. This lady Simone had to call two boats because we can't have these people on the same boat. That makes sense. Yeah, can you send another one? Because we don't want King and Dr. G getting us all, banned from the bar. You cannot do this. You cannot go over here talking about 8 physicians on a boat on a sandbar, and then now we got to leave out on 2 boats because folks don't know how to act. Whose trip is this? Oh yeah, Dr. Simone, because she's the couples. Why are y'all having couples treats with people who don't like? Why don't y'all bring actual therapists? That would be cool if Shimon. That would be cool if Simone would just shut her mouth and Dr. Heavenly, and y'all hire other therapists to come in as doctors. You know what I'm saying? And show us how people can get along with real, accurate, information and tools and things. Not something that, Simone and Heavenly came up with in the People have their eye on you guys over here at Married to Medicine. So y'all better find some new medicines besides Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. And although the couples trips are always kind of really entertaining, and if y'all want to be messy or whatever, be messy. But I feel like it would be awesome if you had a real therapist, not Dr. G and not Dr. Mimi. You can't be on the cast and trying to do that. I mean, you're gonna find out, lady. We'll get to her. Anyway, they on separate boats. And Heavenly is talking to Contessa, and like they're weirdly like friends again. And I'm like, what happened? What happened? I am confused that Dr. Heavenly and Contessa have the audacity to be sitting up here discussing how sweet tea is volatile. I was like, is she? Why is she volatile, Heavenly? Contessa, you didn't really have nothing to do with it. You just want to be here in every scene, every chance you get. Just always like, I'll be nice to Heavenly. I just want to walk around and be seen. Girl, do what you got to do. It's kind of nice not having you and Scott engage with each other, to be honest, too much. Just keep it cute because, don't try to sell us no happily ever after. Now that's one therapist session I'd like to see happen with a real therapist. I feel like Heavenly, you started this screaming match, to be honest. Like she asked a valid question. Who asked this lady to come? Why would we be doing that? Heavenly, you could have just, answered her. You start snapping, she starts snapping, and then you got two big back razorback bitches going back and forth with each other. Doctors, one of y'all is a doctor, one of y'all is a child. You keep calling this girl a child, Dr. Greg, and then we gonna start wondering what we've been wondering. But you should ask yourself, maybe because compared to you, she is a child. So what made you so attracted to this child? Weird ass nigga. I'm like, Heavenly and Contessa are sitting here having this very mature conversation when the last time they brought their behinds to Florida, they was ready to square up. Y'all got an opinion about Sweet Tea. She was just over there fighting for her man, who was about to blow his stack about his ex-wife having a king. It's like a story. I feel like I should write this story. I'm gonna just, change some things around. It's a cute story. I like it. So Sweet Tea and Phaedra are talking about how these bitches like these were over here trying to play them at the sandbar. Dr. G sitting in the corner. He is on fire. He wants Sweet Tea to shut her mouth. You can see it all over his face. She's just over there gossiping with Phaedra and her friend. Another big, tall, gorgeous. They're just everywhere. Oh, we don't wonder why he mad. I got a headache for him. He over here about to get his ass kicked and she running her mouth. So the next morning at the resort, everybody just got to go somewhere and sit down, apparently. After that day of filming, everybody just had to go do whatever they were going to do. Dr. Jackie told King to go work on that 15. Maybe you'll feel a little bit better and you'll stay out of jail. The next morning, Contessa, she goes over to Mimi's room. She wants to apologize on behalf of everyone, as if she's not usually the one fighting. Let me say sorry for these people acting ignorant. Huh. Until I decide to show my ass. Some of these people like Sweet Tea and Contessa, they throw tantrums when they don't get their way. Toya too, but I feel like Toya just be saying wild shit that you're like, what the hell is wrong with her? It'd be the Patron. Heavenly and Simone have a sit down with Apollo and Shireen. Why? I feel like it's very strange that they're giving Apollo like all this, like, I don't know, time to explain what. We came over here to talk shit about Phaedra. That's lame. Apollo. And Shireen, we don't even know you like that, like that. I can't believe I'm like speaking on behalf of Phaedra, but this was just kind of like, y'all thought. We don't care how Apollo feels because we know how he really is. He could probably put himself in the shoes of Dr. G because they like to put their hands on people they're matrimony to. Hmm. Y'all shouldn't have even been there. Why did you come? Because why? You can't even come inside the house. What makes you think she wants to be on a vacation with you? We're gonna go over here because we all want to be on the show. And Phaedra was like, okay, be on the show. And watch me be over here with this tall, good-looking African man and leave y'all's ass in some Louis Vuitton and a private jet. My only issue with her was the blonde wig, child. And Heavenly sitting up there like, that's just how Phaedra is. And I'm like, what? I'm not understanding. She is what? Somebody that gets private jets? I mean, I don't know how any of them are faring up there in those skies lately, child. But I guess it's better if you pay up for your own. Beverly is saying this is all Phaedra's fault. And I'm like, why? Her plan backfired. I was like, it backfired on you, but it was your plan. She did nothing. She came on a trip and she brought somebody with her. You're the one that had decided that Apollo was coming. That was on you. I told her he was coming and I don't give a shit. You already know I don't mess with Apollo like that. I did him a favor and let him come to the reunion because y'all were in my business. I get to use Apollo for things, not y'all. Hmm. That's how Phaedra's looking at it. Because if she used Apollo, then some checks are going to be written for some things. And maybe that was the whole game the whole time. Maybe you got double play, Heavenly. He probably had to pay Phaedra a bigger percentage for bringing Shireen. Oh, you want to bring Shireen? All right. That'll be 40%. Apollo said, this is this is how you know it's on bullshit. Apollo said he had asked Phaedra for a sit down, and I'm like, Apollo, sit down expeditiously in my TI voice. Phaedra packing. She got on a cute little Louis Vuitton two-piece. I don't know. I don't like the labels, but for whatever reason, that one like I don't know, it spoke to me a little bit. Sometimes you gotta flex. Sometimes you gotta flex, and I guess she was on flex, and so I can appreciate that's what that was. So when Dr. Jackie came by there to speak with Phaedra, y'all was just in a powwow last week talking shit about Phaedra. And she wrote the check she said she was gonna write to your charity. So can't talk about that. Y'all sit up there and talk shit about her, and she wrote the check. I guess she had 100,000 on deck. So she probably figured I'll just pay off whatever they don't make. Phaedra knows someone with a private jet. I feel like she got the hookup. So don't be mad at her that y'all flew over here. Does all of y'all doctors together, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Jackie, y'all together couldn't get a private jet? Hmm. She said, y'all are mean girls. Y'all be being mean girls. Y'all have not one but two cast members that y'all have had board meetings to get excommunicated from the show. I just said y'all like to play and you won't be playing me. Not today. Mm-mm. Jackie's sitting there looking confused. Mean girls. Don't act like this is the first time you've heard that, Dr. Jackie. You be out here acting like a mean girl. And you don't really fool with these ladies either. Just, every now and then you come through. You and Curtis be acting like y'all too busy. Like I said, Phaedra got in the private jet with her tall African, and they rode off to wherever they rode off to. I don't know, because at this point I haven't seen her since then. Apollo and Shireen went to Miami. I guess they probably know. Well, but Peter was probably still there then. This is probably before Peter got locked up. They was like, we just go to Peter's house. So the men and the women split up. They always have these, separate things because I feel like the men don't really be getting into too much stuff. They be doing chill things. They went over to this little spot where they roll their own cigars and things, and now Dr. Greg is gone because they can chill because they actually like this guy. And it happens like that most of the time. For every new housewife, I think the husbands are usually pretty good about welcoming somebody into the group. This is new. This whole the guys don't want to welcome somebody in. Oh, not all the guys, just one guy. The ladies go over to somewhere, have some drinks and things. And I mean, it's a vacation. They might as well have some drinks and things because they need to talk about, the tea from yesterday. We got to talk about this whole thing from yesterday. And Simone, feels like that Quad and Greg's relationship is just horrible post-divorce. She's truly surprised by that. It hasn't been, honestly, that we know about. We don't know about any interactions with Quad and Dr. Greg until Dr. Greg got married on the show where she was working at already after he left. He's part of the group. He's a part of the group. We ain't seen him. And the things didn't seem so bad like until King showed up. Because he was perfectly fine last season when Quad was by herself and he was parading around his sweet tea. Yet, she got kicked, off. So they were so funny because she wasn't there anymore. His Quad's out. Here I am with my sweet tea. And y'all are all like, befriending this lady because we're mad at Quad. It was funny. Remember? Now it's bad. The worst thing that's ever happened on the show, in this group, not on the show. They don't say show. That's Simone. This is the worst thing that has ever happened in this group. No, it isn't. Toya and Mariah were over at the pool party, literally snatching each other's hair out. And somebody's mama, Mariah, was beating on Toya with a purse. That was worse. This man King didn't get his hands on Dr. Greg. Simone, you and Cecil was hanging out with Sweet Tea and, welcome her. She's young, but we gonna hang out. She was coming over to the house and things. And I keep saying both of them need healing, like as if they're the same. Maybe Quad needs healing, but it ain't like the same kind of healing that Dr. G needs. This man is still like about to bust a blood vessel. When they got back on the show together as a couple, I really don't think Quad gave a flying flip who this man was married to. I think she was more irritated that y'all were trying to use this situation to get under her skin. This lady was soaking in the hot tub. That's the way they showed it while she was getting married. I don't think she cared. I just think she was like, God, now I gotta like navigate with these bitches that aren't really my real friends and him. That's stressful. But she didn't crash out. Not like how this man is crashing out from state to state. It's like a little angry garden gnome with a high-pitched voice. Savannah's standing at that bar and her edges are making me mad. I was like, why didn't you make another choice or bring some edge control? You knew you was coming to Florida. It's not that much different to Georgia. It's humid and hot out here. Over at the cigar bar, the guys are talking about the situation. King said he ain't got no ex over here. He was not uncomfortable with these two like being around. For him, he got pissed at the disrespect. And I was perfectly fine until this man told me he told my girl that she got a big effing mouth. And then you topped it off of, I know how your girl is. He wanted it. He wanted me to slap the shit out of him. And so I was going to give him what he wanted. And I'm sure like Quad has shared how, the things that she went through in that marriage with this man. And then he sat there and witnessed how he treated Sweet Tea, marching around, stomping around. And people said he was going off. We see how he do her. because regardless to what it is, it's going to be her fault. And at the end of the day, she came after him. She approached him. She pursued him. So, girl, you can't always get what you want. Dr. Damon said he would have did the same thing. So be over there talking about telling Dr. Heavenly to shut her effing mouth. Even though she usually needs to, you better not say it, not like that. And you put a little more twang on it when you know that y'all have been intimate. So you're trying to act familiar. You are no longer familiar. You used to be, but not anymore. You're more like unfamiliar. Jackie tells the ladies, Phaedra said, she gone, child. She got in her private jet this morning and she bounced. Quad seems very unfazed by this because this is the type of thing Quad would probably do. I could see her leaving in the jet. She was like, girl, Toya was like, she don't fool with y'all. She said that about y'all, not me. No, you two, girl. Wasn't you the one over there trying to be in her business, asking about Apollo in the first place? Then you ran into Apollo somewhere asking him questions? Girl, you too. You messy just like the rest of these girls. I think it's funny though that Phaedra's referring to them as mean girls when last year you didn't have no problem. Remember when you was down to the airport talking about you didn't want to associate yourself with Quad? And then let that lady fly all the way out to Napa just to tell her to go home? You were part of that, girl. Got Quad acting a fool down to the funeral home. I don't know whose idea that was. I feel like it was a collaborated effort and it was terrible. Simone says she's not gonna miss Phaedra because Phaedra just seems to think she's above it all. And I was like, all of what is she above? I just want to know when you came to that conclusion. I am not a Phaedra fan. I think she's fake and phony, just like a lot of people are. However, I want to know when you came to that conclusion that she thinks she's above it. She thinks she's better than us. She helped you get half of the money for your charity, 100,000. You're welcome. And she set you up to like, are you going to be real about it or not, Dr. Jackie? You can't just be sitting up here, taking credit for a successful ball. And I realize philanthropy is very hard, getting people to asking for people for money. I would probably fundraising, that would probably definitely not be my skill. But if you're going to run a charity, you need to put somebody in place that's very good at that could organize. I'm just saying. I feel like I shouldn't. Dr. Jackie, it is what it is. I love the idea. I feel like she owes the community that much. You know what I'm saying? To raise money since she's this prestigious doctor around there. It can't be that hard to hire a committee, Dr. Jackie, to make your fundraiser be real. Phaedra showed you that because you ain't gonna be able to rely on $50,000 checks unless you get, what kind of circles are you moving in, Dr. Jackie? It's the ball, for God's sakes. So we back at the resort, and it's time for this couples therapy. Toya says she wants to ditch it. She's tired of these people over here who don't have their shit together trying to tell her and Eugene how they don't have theirs together, and they're fine in comparison to everybody else. And she's over here tipsy on rum. I don't know if it has any preservatives or things, but it didn't seem like it based on her demeanor at the retreat with the couple. So I feel like maybe she should let the Patron go and ease over to rum because I like the rum, LaToya. She's very dope. Maybe not too much. Like if the rum just makes her very chill, I like it. Everyone's got to wear yellow. It's a yellow party. And so Contessa and Scott and Mimi and Steve are in a car on the way to wherever this event is being held at. I thought it was at the resort, but they had to drive there. Contessa decides to check on Sweet Tea and Greg, because they left yesterday and she didn't want anybody to feel like they were being booted out or anything like that. So she's a good friend with Sweet Tea. That's a fake friendship too, just like Heavenly said, but we about to see. But right now she's being a good friend or nosy. So she could come back with some tea like she did. She was calling Sweet Tea, but Greg was right there, honey. He wanted to let everybody know. He probably snatched that phone out of her hand. so he could tell his side of the story because she's not going to be able to do it right. And he's painting himself as this conflict resolver. I was just over there trying to be nice and friendly and respectful. And the next thing I know, this man came out of his shirt and he charged at me. I'm like, well, Dr. G, you forgot some parts, but I mean, at the end, yes, you opened your mouth and he was finna help you close it. Now, on top of being, uncomfortable and awkward and all those things you said, now you're embarrassed too because you provoked this man. Oh, wait. Wonder why quiet has that much of an effect on him. They keep trying to say quiet still has feelings. I don't think she does. I think any woman that gets out of a situation that's stifling, um, would not be happy to go back to it. She's in the prime of her life, clearly. Just saying. So we're back in Atlanta and they're in their kitchen, Dr. G and Sweet Tea having a conversation. And he's letting her know he was just so upset because Quad said she left him. That made him so mad. And I'm like, but she did leave you. You said she did. You said you came home and the numbers bed was gone or whatever. Number bed, posturpedic bed, whatever kind of bed you had, she took it. And if I was Sweet Tea, I'd be pissed because why are we this upset that she said that? Who gives a shit? People are always doing that. At this point, you shouldn't care about anything that comes out of Quad's mouth. And Sweet Tea walking around the kitchen with her Gucci fanny pack on. Why are you wearing your fanny pack at home? Are you about to go somewhere? I don't think so, because you're filming. Put the purse up in the room. Is that her version of flossing? Is she flossing her little Gucci fanny pack? Girl. Greg said he had to leave that toxic environment. And I was like, who was making it toxic though? Let me see, because you were the only person that was upset every day that they were there. From the pool party to the only time you was upset over there falling in the water, paddling on that thing, trying to show off. You know daggone well you don't know how to paddle like that. This man is from Jamaica. I feel like they're, have a lot of good water skills. Dr. G said that night at the pool party that Quad is drunk. I know how she is. He could have removed himself then and been like, you know what? We gonna call it a night because it's getting late and I'm getting irritated. That would be normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he shouldn't feel any type of way because she was being annoying. And so, he could have done that. Sometimes you just can only ignore something so much. Every time Sweet Tea opened her mouth, he wanted her to shut it. I don't know why. Her and Quad were never at any point, I don't remember, going back and forth at each other in a way that, made her need protection. They were just talking shit. And Sweet Tea's like, if she talking shit, I'm talking shit. But clearly she's not allowed to talk because she's a naive little juvenile little girl. Is she in trouble? Is she gonna be grounded? Dr. G said, I don't know, but if Shek wasn't there, it would have been a whole fight to the death. And I'm like, your death? Because wasn't nobody worried about you doing anything, not even Sweet Tea. She felt like she had to put up her fisticuffs on your behalf, which had him even more mad. Sweet Tea's like, nobody was over there fighting to the death. And to be honest, I don't feel like he would have. He might have yoked your ass down somewhere, but this man was not coming over here to beat you down because he knows he can. You don't know that man. She's like, I don't know him. You're right, but I just don't feel like that's what was about to happen. How do you know that? He said. She was like, well, for one thing, I was there. About to jack his ass up. She was. Now he's mad because when they were there, she was actively running towards this man while her husband was running away backwards with his hands flying around in the air. So embarrassing. Film crew and all. We can all gonna get to see it. I already saw it. Sweet Tea's like, I had combat training. I know how to fight, guys. Oh, well, you're still a woman. Now he's pissed because she's had the audacity to speak up for herself. He's like, "You're so naive." She's like, "Don't do that." Honestly, like it's really sad when you think about it, like in real life. Because I was sitting there looking at it, I was like, dang, this is like her real husband, like in real life. Like when this show's over, everybody's gonna go back to doing that thing that they've been doing, and she's gonna be doing whatever with this man. And I feel like it's gonna be worse because now it's all public. So now everybody's looking at him like, you little weaselly thing. Is he, are they coming back? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if they don't come back, it's because he doesn't want to. Because I feel like she wants to. She's with shits. But I feel like if that, and the thing about it is, Dr. Greg, this lady is actually proud of you, proud to have you be her man, her man, her man. You should maybe like recognize that, but you can't. You somewhere just trying to be somebody's boss and leader, especially if they're a woman. They're supposed to come over there, cook your food, and let you tell them what to do. Be quiet. Don't talk. Shh, shh. I wish. I wish. He's being all condescending to her, and she's peeping it, but she's also like smalling herself. Why are you doing that? While she's speaking up for herself, she's absolutely shrinking, literally. He went storming off because he's an asshole. Now these cameras are here. He want to go hide, and then she gets up because she's like, I don't know what he's doing. Why he's storming off? I mean, he has no one, just me. That's even scarier for you, girl. To be honest, you better hope he finds somebody. I don't mean like a girlfriend or something, but I mean anybody to talk to. They are in the room, still mic'd up, talking. He's telling her this is all your fault. He said, this is all your fault. Don't say shit to make me go off. See, now he's making you responsible for him acting a fool. This is all your fault. I'm about to act a fool. You stood up for yourself. I don't play that shit around here. I get the last word. I'm a whole man. She's like, I'm having a right to my opinion. Because I think that this man King was not about to come over there and try to kill you. I think we all think he was probably just going to push you down in the sand. Let you sit your ass there. Shut up. That's the most you were going to get. I don't really think King was just really finna go put hands on him like that. And Sweet Tea, I think, feels the same thing. Like, man, he wasn't finna do nothing but come push you. You want to be mad. I have a right to my opinion. Well, your opinion doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. Because Greg, none of us think that he was finna come kill you. For real. And for sure know you weren't about to do shit to him. He told her she thinks she knows everything. Well, you think you know everything. Now you're a child. That's what she should do. She should repeat whatever he says. You want me to be a child? I'm gonna act like one. I'm gonna show you how you act. Now, who's the real child? She's like, I'm trying to do this for the team. I guess they're a team of two. But he said he's the leader. So she better shut up and let her leader lead. I don't know who you think you're talking to. And he said that for real. I can't imagine. I don't know who you think you're talking to. I'm talking to you, little nigga. And I get to have an opinion about things. I don't care whether you think it makes sense or not. Stop saying stupid stuff and you won't get the reaction you don't want. Wow. Stop being dumb and talking with a hot mic because now we all see how ridiculous you are. We heard about it before. Quad said it, but you just validated everything this lady ever said about you. Whew. Good luck, sweetie. We back in Key West at the lemon party. And Dr. Simone has decided that Dr. Mimi, since she's a psychologist, is going to, like, I don't know, lead the group. And I think that's a terrible idea. Nobody in the group, I don't care if you're a psychologist, therapist, or what, you can't lead the group. You just have to sit down and listen to what the doctor on duty is saying. You know the game. Dr. Jackie did a long time ago. We started with a lemon, we got a whole bowl now. You can't talk unless you have the bowl of lemons. That's the person who has the floor. So the first question is for Dr. Mimi because, like I said, she's here leading the group. How do you feel about the presence of X's in the group? Who came up with this question? This is a ridiculous question. Simone, is this yours? I don't know too many groups that want their exes there. None, zero. You have that doesn't even mean like you have to even be in any type of odds with one another. I just feel like I would like to be in a different group now. I left this group for a reason. Mimi said, only if the exes have done the work they've needed to do, and clearly the exes that were here have not done the work yet. So the only ex that's left is quiet. What do you mean, Dr. Mimi? I feel like respectfully, shut up. You don't have all the details. You don't know how these people orchestrated all of this buffoonery that happened the day before. You did not do your homework. Maybe you should go back a couple few seasons and see, not even a couple few. Go on Peacock and start at season 1, child. By the time you finish, you'll come back next season and decide how you're going to handle things. Right now, you and Steve are over here being the good guys trying to mediate things. You can't mediate when you don't know the situation. All of a sudden, everybody wants to go around. I would not want the ex around me. No, it ain't gonna work. Dr. Jackie, we're not doing that. We're not having any ex around. Dr. Heavenly, we ain't gonna be able to do that. So if you're all clear, like, why didn't this conversation happen during the first meeting down to the boardroom for all the doctors? Why didn't y'all put that into perspective before we decided to come over here and make Sweet Tea a part of the group and bring Dr. Gregory back in the fold? Why are we doing that? Toya asked for the bowl and they like, ooh, Simone's like, oh shit. Okay. Why are you worried? Y'all tried to play Toya. She has something for y'all. She was like, you know what? We sitting up here talking about Sweet Tea is wrong, Dr. Gregory is wrong, everybody, Phaedra wrong, everybody wrong. But we've done some effed up stuff around here, all of us. And we were wrong. Now they all looking a fool. They flash back to all of the negative stuff that they have all said to each other. Now Heavenly has a revelation. She have a revelation, and then as soon as she have a revelation, she put her foot in her mouth. That's why her apologies and things don't matter. Don't worry about it. You just can't ever take her seriously, because if you do, you're gonna have your feelings hurt. And don't ever tell you your business, because she ain't finna tell you hers. Now she has a realization that, you know what? I was so wrong. We were so wrong because I should have taken Quad's feelings into consideration when I, brought the ex around. And I'm like, you didn't take her feelings into consideration, but you was definitely moving intentionally. I can't tell you how many platforms I heard Dr. Heavenly go on saying she brought Sweet Tea in the fold because she knew that that's how they were going to get Quad back. Like, she's so very proud that, this is the avenue that it took to bring her back to the show. She did it for Quad. Let her tell it. Simone looking at her like, what? What did you just say? You were there at the board meeting. This whole thing was your idea. You volunteered to go get that lady, taking pictures with her and put it on the internet. Now the light has come through, the sun is shining, and you have seen it all. You are, what did he call it? You are delivered, Dr. Heavenly. You are delivered. Not all the way delivered. Eugene is talking about, well, I mean, I'm not really as cool with Dr. G as like all the rest of you guys. I mean, I'm cool with them, but not like how you guys are. But well, Dr. G is part of the group. We just have to consider that he's still part of the group. And I'm like, so where was he then? All these years, not being part of the group. He didn't want to come over there before? Because it didn't make sense before. Like, I guess he could have come around. Y'all have man things. Y'all do man stuff. How come he never was invited down to the boom boom room? He didn't have to be in the same vicinity as Quad did, you know. But he wasn't there. He wasn't anywhere around. He didn't come back until he found a sweet tea in his DMs talking about she was finna come over there and give him what he want. How's that working out for you guys? Both of y'all. But we didn't see him before then. I don't know. It ended with Dr. Simone saying that thing that she always says is we got some work to do. And I don't know if she's the final eulogy person, but they have no resolve over here whatsoever. They feel like they're very proud of themselves for some strange reason. And, you know, the group is fractured. Dr. Damon gave the closing announcements. He said, well, you guys, you're all great people. And I really love all you guys, not because of your titles, but because you're all very kind. And I'm like, they are not kind, Dr. Damon, and you know that. You're kind and you're good people. And then Steve, who doesn't know anything about anything, says, you know what? And when he talks, like he's quiet, but when he talks, he be saying a word. You gotta, you gotta respect it. You know, they all cheers to how wonderful things turned out over there. And I mean, that's where we leave it. You know, that's where we leave the couples retreat. Next week, though, Phaedra is breaking up with the group. She's don't hang with bitches like y'all, and that's what she said, and that's what she means. She's packing her things and going to Atlanta with the housewives. She's leaving Atlanta with the medicine wives and doctors and things, and she's going over to Atlanta with the housewives with no husbands. Maybe there's some husbands. I don't know these new people. I haven't done any research. I'll be reviewing it, but I haven't done anything. I don't know. I besides this things, the big stuff like Kenya was like fighting with these girls. I just haven't done anything to get to know the ones that I don't already know about. So it looks like the guys are questioning Greg about calling the cops. And he said, why wouldn't I? And I'm like, because you a bitch. That's why. Did this man put his hands on you? What are you calling the police for? Or is there something we missed? Now I need to get the details. And T tells Toya she needs to choose. Girl, goodbye. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, we'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.